Welcome to the Rabbit Hole Fantasy Football Podcast. Thoughts, analysis, and information to help you succeed in your fantasy football leagues. I am your host, Chad Lyon, and joining me is Nick Hunsicker.
Yo.
And our producer, Mitchell Bird.
Hello.
This is our Week 6 Thursday Night Football London game and Sunday 1 o'clock game slate preview. But before we dive into this stuff, Nick, how's it going?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Good, man. It's good to see you again.
Yeah.
We've skipped top 3 lists a couple times. We decided to get back to it, and we are going to do top 3 Pop-Tarts.
Love me some Pop-Tarts.
Back to childhood.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nick. You can kick it off.
Yeah. So the first one is cookies and cream. Hot or warm, or hot or cold. It's the best. My second one, they used to have it a long time ago. Haven't seen it in a long time. It's a SpongeBob one that had like yellow frosting with his face on it, and then the inside was blue. That was super good. And then the wild berry, that's one of my favorites too.
Oh yeah.
All right, Mitchell, what do you got?
I got brown sugar cinnamon. That's my favorite. I do always toast my Pop-Tarts unless it's not an option. Cherry's gonna be my second. Strawberry's my third. I'm staying with the basics.
All right.
Basics, okay.
I also have cookies and cream at 1. Hot or cold, I don't care. I prefer it hot. S'mores at 2. And the one that I take a bunch of flack for, the unfrosted brown sugar and cinnamon.
Psychopath.
That's ridiculous.
I take them when I go turkey hunting sometimes. I eat them cold in the woods. I don't need the extra frosting at that point, man. I don't know. That's like hard when it's cold. Like,
when it gets too cold. Yeah.
Maybe if it's not toasted, I'll have to try it sometime.
It's just, I don't know. It's a brown, sugary, cinnamony snack while you're sitting in the, I don't know. It's so.
But what does the frosting hurt?
I don't like the extra. I don't need it. It's brown sugar and cinnamon. Like I don't need it. and I don't like it when it's cold.
Just eat a graham
It's
cracker.
all right.
I don't like it. It's like a huge difference. Massive difference. All right. When we go turkey hunting, I'm bringing some.
Okay. All right. Deal.
All right.
Deal.
All right. Let's no more Pop-Tarts. I'm not even listening to you guys crap anymore. Let's move on to Thursday Night Football, and we've got the 49ers at the Seahawks. Geno Smith or Brock Purdy this week?
Geno Smith.
I will take Geno as well. He's playing good ball.
Mm-hmm.
He's averaging around 40 pass attempts per game. So we all know that the Niners are going to pressure Geno. Geno's catchable pass rate versus pressure is about 61%.
It's really good.
Catchable pass rate versus pressure, 61%.
That's really good.
That's 6th in the league. His deep ball catchable pass rate is almost 62%. That's 4th in the league.
Shoo.
Catchable pass rate in general is 86%. That's 2nd in the league.
Putting the ball where it needs to be.
Niners are tough, but like I said, Geno's playing good ball. Home. No, it's Thursday night. I hate Thursday night games. They just tend to be a little odd. But, yeah, give me Geno this week.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, those that draft and spot start guys, like, this is not a week where I'm like, need to find another spot. No, just keep playing Geno.
You're good with Geno.
You found your guy. He's fine. And though there's going to be some games where you go, oh, I shouldn't have started Geno. That's going to happen eventually. But, I mean, he was a free ad. He's, like, essentially leading the league in yards, I think.
I think so.
Last I knew.
I think he is.
That's nuts. How are we feeling about the Seahawks receivers?
I don't know.
DK's a 2?
Yeah, I think it stays the same for now. It's just two tough defenses on a Thursday night. I guess it just makes me nervous, but keep them the same way you have them.
Still don't think the Seahawks defense is that tough.
I don't know.
Giants don't either.
We should, we should find out for real this week.
This should really be.
I don't know what happened with that Giants game. That was a disaster.
It was. JSN Lockett. Flex 1, bench 1.
Flex JSN, bench Lockett.
Flex Lockett, bench JSN for me.
Okay.
Could be a sneaky play, I think. Lockett could.
I think.
Lockett is 12th in routes run with 140, 10th in the league with 62 route wins. 10th in the league with 62 route wins.
And when Geno's throwing throwable or catchable passes,
I like
good
a
combo.
Yeah, I gut feeling I like a deep Lockett touchdown in this game.
Okay.
On the 49ers side, need the target share from last week and 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I guess. They needed to continue.
Yeah.
Over 10 targets in 2 of the last 3 games. If that stays consistent, Ayuk will get rolling.
Yeah, he looked really good last week.
He was a high draft pick, essentially. I mean, where you took him, you need more of what you saw last week.
Yeah.
You need more of that. Otherwise, it's like, I don't know, man. Where you at with Debo?
Probably another guy you drafted high. I don't know. The wide receivers are so tough right now for San Fran because
it's a really hard room to gauge.
Yeah. It feels like 1 week it's this guy, next week it's another. Kittle seems to be solid all the time now.
He's as consistent as I can ever remember.
He was a boomer bust tight end.
He's been solid.
And he is great this year.
Yeah. Ayuk or Debo this week?
Ayuk
for me too. I'm going to lean into this target share. Just hope it stays. Like, why wouldn't you?
Keep it that way.
Yeah. Running backs. Both obvious starts, but Jordan Mason or Ken Walker this week?
Jordan Mason, probably.
I think it's tough.
Yeah.
Mason got, was it about 10 less touches last week than like his per game average? Ken Walker weirdly got like 5 carries last week, but had 7 catches. I have to imagine that both of those numbers, other than Walker's receptions, will go up.
Yeah. Should.
So I'll take Walker.
Okay.
I think he's just the better running back.
I think Walker's the better running back. I think the 49ers run defense is the better run defense.
It is. It's good. Fading Charbonnet a little here, or still a viable flex?
I think that you can flex him. He gets enough targets out of the backfield.
He averages 10 points per game, 10 fantasy points per game with PPR with Walker active.
Yeah.
But last I knew, 49ers let up like the least yards per carry.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is one that you want to tamper with flex and Charbonnet, but injuries and bye weeks, we say it all the time. Like sometimes you're in a corner, you could probably do worse.
Yeah, you can definitely do worse.
Okay. And we mentioned Kittle, but also just to note, he seems to have shaken his injury tag. So that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the London game. The Jaguars at the Bears. Really hard to get excited for London games.
Yeah.
But let's assume that the London trend is not a problem. Caleb over Lawrence, right?
This week, yeah.
Do you think Caleb can stack back-to-back good games here? Jaguars are 32nd against the quarterback position.
Should be able to.
I would certainly. He's getting better.
His line looked at least viable last week.
Well, right, and they played Carolina. Like, there's that aspect to it. But like I said to Ty on the last episode, I think Caleb's clearly growing and getting better.
Yes.
And it was, like I said last show, it was nice to see him finally. Like, I don't care if it was against Carolina. It's like, at least I get to see him play and watch him process. And it's there.
Yeah, it's definitely there.
It's there.
He looked great last week.
He needs a second. I will say, London game stuff and the whole trend of the scoring aside, I think he stacks back-to-back games here.
Yeah.
I think we walk away going, all right, it's in there. Please go invest in this kid's line. This is insane. What are you doing? Receivers, I mean, they're doing what they want against the Jags defense. So allowing almost 210 pass yards or 210 yards per game to receivers. Moore, Allen, Adunes in that order?
Yes.
DJ Moore's route tree has suddenly changed.
Look good.
Tell us a little about it, Nick.
Yeah, so I heard you guys talking about it on the podcast and asked me little question on how that would look. So I sent it over to you guys. He's actually getting usage, and his route tree isn't just the same route 3-4 times a game. It looks like they're wanting to actually get him involved. Maybe they're listening. I don't know.
They're not.
They're not, but if they are, we were right.
Yeah, he's all over the field.
He's all over the place. He's lining up in slot. He's on the outside. He's on the other slot. Like, he's all over the field.
Maybe things start ramping up a little bit for the offense. Maybe Waldron starts figuring some things out. I don't know.
I hope so, but I did see Rome's, and Rome lined up on one side of the field the entire game.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So I maybe one person got the good game plan this time. I don't know.
Well, either way, I'm really pumped about DJ Moore because I said some things. Some of them things aren't sticking.
Yeah.
So hopefully this is a turn in the right direction. They're on bye after this. The Bears are. After the bye, they've got Washington, Arizona, and New England. That is far from the worst schedule that you could see coming off of a bye.
Great.
So maybe we start getting going here. You know, if he can stack another game, the Bears go on bye. They come out to a much more favorable schedule than some of the things that they have dealt with before the Carolina and Jags game. Maybe things start taking a turn for the better for just the Bears offense, period, which...
Yeah, this is a good stretch to have Caleb as your QB in fantasy.
Yeah, like, especially if it's super flex.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be a little afraid to lean one QB,
He
depending
might
on
give
the depth of
you
the league.
QB1
But
numbers.
in the last couple of weeks, I gotta see this.
Mm-hmm.
But if that works, and then they get to go on by and kind of readjust a little bit with that schedule, yeah.
Yeah.
Jags pass catchers. This is a scary one. I'm fading Kirk. What about Brian Thomas Jr.?
You won me a lot of money last week. Thank you.
How much did you win?
A lot.
A lot.
a lot. Thank you, Brian Thomas Jr. I don't know. Chicago's defense is really good. If you're going to flex one out of it, it's going to be him. And I don't think you go any higher than that. I think he puts up flex numbers.
I think when you're talking redraft, there's a handful of guys like this. Because of where you got him, there's a chance you don't have to.
Yes.
Being it's, dealing with the Bears secondary. But if you have to, again, there's way worse options.
Oh, yeah.
That Bears secondary is the real deal.
He's still going to get his targets.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, that's another game over 10 targets.
For sure. They're not going to not throw it to him.
Yeah, he's going to get his targets. And he was a go up and get it guy in college. So he's not just a one trick pony.
All right. Flex. And if you can avoid it, good for you.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
That's great if you can. DeAndre Swift, Roschon Johnson, Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby.
Boy.
Both of these teams can be ran on.
Yeah.
So there is that. Both worse than 23rd versus the running back position. So start one running back from each team.
DeAndre Swift.
Yep, with you.
Man. ETN? I don't know.
I'll take Bigsby.
You want Bigsby?
Yep.
After last week, you're going to want Bigsby, but
he's the better running back.
He is by far.
He's the better running back. Yeah. He is questionable with a shoulder injury, ETN, but it doesn't seem like anything major. Peterson claims that was the reason for the increase for Bigsby and that ETN is still the guy. So, nope, Travis is still our guy, is what he said. So, be that as it may,
why?
You're not going to ignore what Bigsby's doing.
No, you can't.
So, at minimum, he stays in ETN's way. He stays stepping on his toes. And as long as that happens, give me Bigsby's talent with his opportunities versus ETN's.
Yeah.
And I listen, I might have to eat crow next week on this take, but
I mean, that's the same with DeAndre Swift, though. Not to the same extent, but DeAndre Swift has shown now that he is just as good as he was last year. He can do it. But
what's in his way is more of a touchdown dependent
he's
problem.
He's going to
though.
get vultured at the goal line every time. Roshan Johnson is their goal line guy.
He is. He is for sure. Unless he screams and throws a fit, they might give him another crack.
Well, yeah.
Which happened.
That's fair. I mean, you're probably pretty pissed if you're DeAndre Swift.
Oh, sure. Like, I just got you all the way down here, and I failed on one attempt. Give me the ball back.
Give me the ball. Yeah.
I don't blame him. As far as tight ends, you can start Kmet if you have to.
Yep.
In the tight end landscape. All right, let's move on to the 1 o'clock games. The Buccaneers at the Saints. Well, Carr's going to be out for a few weeks.
Yep.
We get either Jake Haener or Spencer Rattler.
I seen something today.
Okay.
Looks like it's going to be Spencer Rattler's job.
I would hope so.
As it should be.
All right, we'll talk about that in a sec. Monitor both Kamara and Shaheed. They're both questionable, but I think Kamara's just dealing with the same thing. Shaheed was downgraded today. So I'm not sure exactly what that's going to mean, but let's just assume everything's fine. How bad does this decimate Kamara, Olave, and Shaheed? Where's your faith level? Knowing it's Spencer Rattler, where's your faith level in all three of these guys?
I think it stays about the same.
Yeah?
As what it was with Carr.
He'll take his shots at least.
Yeah.
Rattler will take shots.
Yeah. And I think that he's got the arm strength to do what he needs to do. He's a good enough thrower. It's his decision making that might not be the greatest, but when you put him up against Carr, that's kind of Carr's thing too. He has all the arm talent in the world. It's his decision making that makes him a questionable quarterback.
I think Kamara stays the same.
Yeah.
Check down stuff. Like that's
always going to be there.
I think I have to. I'll say this. After the Kansas City game, after the Monday night game, Shaheed to me is no longer a boom bust flex.
Yep.
I want to talk to Ty about that too. I'm wondering if he's
thing.
changed his mind.
Yeah.
So to me, in Olave, I mean, he's been a receiver too.
Yeah. Olave's going to get the bulk of the targets, but
until I see something, they're both downgraded to flex for me.
Yeah.
With Kamara staying the
I
same.
want to see what it looks like this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the Bucs they're not a slouch defense against the pass either.
No, are they getting healthier now? I know I probably should have pulled that up, but
I believe so.
I know their back end was
Beat up,
Yeah.
but I mean, they still took advantage of the Eagles, but
well, for what it's worth, they've been 31st against the quarterback position, so maybe alleviates a little pressure for Rattler, but this is an NFL start, buddy. Be ready.
yeah, seriously.
They're 26th versus the receiver position and 20th versus the running back position. That's the Bucs defense. So there is a little bit of silver lining here, maybe. But they've also been beat up, and those numbers probably reflect that.
Yeah.
So if they're getting healthier, there'll be a little shift there. Keep the confidence. Keep rolling Baker out.
Yeah. Until I'm proven wrong,
Yeah.
you keep rolling Baker.
Saints defense is 4th against the quarterback position, fantasy-wise. So, but Baker looks like he's on a whole other level, man.
I don't know that it really matters.
Yeah, he's playing good ball. All right. As per every week, I ask, Mike Evans or Chris Godwin this week?
Give me Chris Godwin.
I wonder if it's the same reason as me. Give me Godwin as well. Why?
Lattimore and Evans.
Yeah, that Lattimore effect is a thing, man.
You know,
But
and those two hate each other.
they do bad.
So
Mike Evans always has such a cool head until it comes to that dude.
yeah, yeah. So I'm going Godwin this week.
I'm going Godwin this week. I think temper your expectations a little bit. This usually does not go Mike Evans' way.
Yeah.
If you have him, probably start him, but temper your expectations.
Just know he could get ejected in the first quarter.
Yeah, no kidding. Rashad White, you're probably starting him, I guess. Are you leaning Bucky over White, or just not quite there yet?
Not yet. I think we'll get there though.
This could be a not great game for either one of them.
Yeah, I'm not confident in either one.
11th against the position. Saints defense.
Yeah, I'm not beating down the door to try to get you to start Rachaad White, but he'd be the one to start if you're going to start one or the other.
They're both a flex. I will lean Rashad a little more.
Yeah.
Start Cade Otton if you have to.
Yeah,
Question mark?
I think he's a startable tight end.
Okay, averages about 5 targets a game. Tight ends have actually fared okay against the Saints defense overall. So, bye week filler, backup tight end. I don't mind Cade Otton.
I don't mind him at all.
All right, let's move on to the Commanders at the Ravens. Feeling comfortable with Jaden Daniels against the Baltimore defense?
Yes.
Ravens, they've been kind of hammered through the air. Daniels, over or under 240 passing yards?
Over. I think it's going to be a shootout.
Give me the under.
Take the under.
Yeah, over or under 50 rushing, Jaden Daniels.
Under.
Give me the over.
Okay, so other way.
Yep.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson, same question. Over or under 240 passing?
Over.
Give me the over. Rushing. 50 over or under?
Over. I won't even
I'll take the
hesitate on
over.
that one.
So, all right. I'll take the over as well. Jackson. I'm sorry. Let's start with Daniels. Daniels is averaging about 230 pass yards a game and 60 rushing. Jackson is averaging about 240 pass yards per game and about 70 rushing.
Comps are kind of close, huh?
That's unbelievably
People
comparable.
might have been on to something.
Yeah. Just think about where you drafted Lamar versus Daniels in redraft leagues.
And you're getting the same production.
Uh-huh.
That's
You got him free. In some leagues, it was someone's last pick.
Mhm.
In some leagues, he may not have gotten drafted. That's nuts. That's nuts. Why do we say in redraft, don't go early at quarterback. Just don't do it. McLaurin, he's a what this week?
start. Wide receiver 2.
Okay. Just to note, the Ravens are 28th versus the receiver position. Like McLaurin, Flowers is the only receiver you're starting for the Ravens.
Yep.
Please keep starting him. What? Some of these articles, he shut some of the articles down with his play in the last game. But
Yeah,
he's
last week
averaging
he's
damn
good.
near 8 targets a game.
Yeah, you're not going to bench him.
A player of his caliber in an offense that can just abuse defenses, that is an every week, no question, smash start. Do not question it.
Yeah.
Don't question it. Just keep starting Zay Flowers. He's an elite athlete.
Both of these secondaries are weak.
They are. Running backs. Henry, smash start. I mean, what do you even say? Another vintage running order?
Yeah, this is going to be a big week for
I
him,
feel
I
it.
think.
What's the trust level in the Washington backfield? So let me go over this quick. Only 7 carries for Brian Robinson last week. All 3 running backs for Washington had 7 to 8 total touches each.
Brian Robinson is the best running back in that room. There's no way they don't recognize that.
He's dealing with this knee thing. And I'm wondering if, as long as he deals with that, they just kind of parse out the work. And
That's possible.
it's a little concerning. However, with Brian Robinson, the beauty of having a guy like him, like Brian Thomas Jr., where you got him. You've been flexing him, and I'm sure to start right out of the gate, you may not have started him at all.
Yeah.
You're in a position like Brian Thomas Jr., where it's like, yeah, you can play him, but also
You don't have to.
you probably don't have to, unless you've made some moves that have depleted yourself because
Right.
you were leaning on it. That might be a little different. Faith level, though, here in Brian Robinson. Let's start with Robinson. Flex until we make sure that this, because that was strange.
Yeah, I think you can still flex them. Just be careful. I mean, watch for the injury tag, but
It's him and Eckler are both. Robinson is the knee issue, and it's a heel for Eckler. But it seems to be like maintenance related. However, like if they're if they're both beat up, like I feel like you might just see this like, oh, carried the ball 24 times and, 3 running backs got 8 touches. Just like last week. I mean, I could see that. Or do you think that this is a game where it's like, no, we're playing the Ravens. We are leaning on Brian Robinson. He's our best back.
They're going to need all they can get. Like I said, I really do think that this is a shootout type game.
What do you do with Eckler this week? Because the numbers are still serviceable. They're not great. They do not wow you, but they are flex numbers.
But they're flex numbers.
So are they just flexes this week, period?
Yeah.
I'm pulling up Eckler. Just wanted to see.
I just don't think I'm going any farther than that.
See, though, I mean, every week it's 10 or more points with Eckler.
It's flex.
I mean, it is. So until we know a little more, I do have concern that we see this week what we saw last week. So maybe temper expectations due to that. But if that doesn't happen and you started him, that could be a good thing. Maybe he gets back to getting 20 touches and we'll just have to see.
Right.
Ertz, Likely, Andrews. Pick one.
Ertz.
I will take Ertz as well and his target share. Thanks.
Yeah.
I will take. I mean, it's weird.
Just because I don't know what's going on.
No. Isn't that weird to say, though?
Yeah. Like Kohler after the game, after he scored his touchdown, they asked him what he thought about it. He's like, well, it's pretty easy when Likely and Andrews are as covered as they are. They forget about the fat white guy.
Like, that's what he said.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's got a good point. Likely and Andrews, I know Likely's getting draped over. Andrews, I've seen plays where he's wide open and Lamar just isn't getting on the ball. He's got a different option, whatever. But I don't know. I just don't trust the tight ends for the Ravens.
Imagine before redraft started, somebody saying like, "Oh, I'll draft Ertz over Andrews."
Yeah, okay.
Right. Yeah. It's such a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the Cardinals at the Packers. Kyler Murray or Jordan Love?
Jordan Love.
I will take Kyler in the rushing upside. You know I'm always a sucker for it.
Yep.
They're both obvious starts.
Yep.
But man, give me Kyler. I'm a little concerned traveling to Wisconsin. But I liked what I saw out of Kyler last week, man. Like he dug deep and played some ball, and I was happy to see that.
Yep, that's a side of him we don't see very often.
Right.
When's the next Call of Duty come out?
I'm not sure.
That's when I'll start worrying about Kyler
I think
Murray.
it just did recently.
It just did recently.
I seen that he signed like a deal.
Really?
With Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
So when that, I don't know. I like I said, I don't know when it drops, but when it does, that guy's going to be streaming and like.
There could be some fantasy impact.
Yeah, there's going to be some fantasy. So then I'm out the door. But for now, I'm good with Kyler Murray.
Packers, 25th against the receiver position. Bounce back for Harrison this week?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes. And Michael Wilson. They're both going to be great.
Yeah. Kyler really seems to trust Michael Wilson. I want to flex him this week. I have a gut feeling on him, just like I do Lockett. Give me a splash score this week for Michael Wilson.
Yeah, he might have like a 341 line.
Right. This Harrison thing, there's a lot of up the sideline stuff going on. And I need that to change. I just can't. I'd like to see his route tree, Nick. That's what I would love to see. I want to see a Marvin Harrison route tree because it seems to the eye as I'm sitting there watching, like, are they just sending this dude on go routes? Like, what?
That's exactly what they're doing.
Really? So my eyes are okay. So I am seeing what I'm seeing. So that is what it is.
Yeah. He last week I looked at his routes and every one of them's a go. One was like a comeback hitch route on like a 15-yard hitch. I don't know. He's more than that.
Oh yeah, he's much more than that. Hopefully I don't know. I guess I hope that changes. don't quite understand it. But Zay Jones could return from suspension this week. Do you care?
Not this week.
Okay.
I think he's a lot better than people give him credit
He's good.
for.
He's a good receiver.
Yeah.
He is. He's a good NFL receiver.
Yeah.
Fantasy, it's like, he did have I leaned on him a little bit in some moments last year.
Yeah.
He had some upside going. And
Yeah. I think he had like 700 yards or something like that last year.
Yeah.
And then, what was it? 2 years before that, I think he had a 1,000-yard season, right?
Yeah.
Other than that, it's been thanks for being a receiver.
Yeah. Assuming Watson does not return this week, Christian Watson. We're obviously starting Reed regardless. I mean, it's every week. Dobbs is returning this week. So Dobbs or Wicks in the flex or neither?
Neither.
Okay.
I'm worried about the Dobbs thing.
Why is that?
From him saying that he doesn't want to be there anymore.
Well, he's not happy with his usage. I don't know if I totally agree with that. Either way, Watson probably is not playing this week. Wicks is in the Watson role.
Yeah,
that's why you don't get to see Wicks.
I'm okay with Wicks.
But Dobbs isn't Dobbs' role. Dobbs' role is the safety blanket, solid hands. His hands are way better than Dontavian Wicks' hands.
Yeah. Yep.
If you give Dobbs 13 targets, he's going to catch 11 to 12 of them, maybe all of them. Dobbs is a good, solid-handed. They need Dobbs. I believe they'll use Dobbs. But if I had to flex one or the other, I kind of want the guy in Christian Watson's role.
Yeah.
So I think I'll lean Wicks, knowing I may be making a bad choice just as far as safety blanket guy. I don't know. But Wicks gets a lot of targets. He needs to catch more of these targets.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. So Wicks over Dobbs, but it's closer than some people might want to admit, in my opinion. You're starting McBride. Start Tucker Kraft in a bye week pinch spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. After last week.
I mean, the targets aren't really there, but dude's hungry.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, he's coming to work. I would. Yeah, in a bye week. Yeah, give me him in a pinch. We've said it a million times. You're never not starting James Conner.
Yeah.
Packers defense allows over 110 rushing yards a game. As far as the Cardinals, you can run on the Cardinals. They're 25th against the running back position. Jacobs gets tons of work. Don't get cute.
Yep.
Everyone knows how I feel about Jacobs, but you have him. He gets all this work. I wish he'd do more with it sometimes, but the volume and opportunity is all his. So both these running backs are definite easy starts.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the Colts at the Titans. Man, lots of questionable tags for the Colts.
Are they going to have a team this week?
I don't know. Jonathan Taylor with an ankle. I assume Jonathan Taylor doesn't play.
He's not practicing.
Pittman with a back injury, possibly headed to IR. Josh Downs with a toe injury. And Anthony Richardson with the oblique.
Yikes.
So let's assume Richardson plays. This whole possibly headed to IR thing tells me Pittman's not going to play.
Yeah.
At least this week.
At least this week.
And I don't think Jonathan So Josh Downs. Better chance than the others that he plays. I like Josh Downs.
With Joe Flacco.
I'll take him with Anthony Richardson as well. He is the reason Josh Downs is there is because he is exactly the kind of receiver skill set wise that bodes well with Anthony Richardson. He's a short area target underneath, gets yak when he catches the ball.
Yeah,
he's there for that.
We just haven't seen Anthony Richardson utilize
right.
it.
But I think he couldn't have utilized it because Downs wasn't there.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And last year Downs got some usage.
Yes, that made you raise your eyebrow. Good enough. It's like, oh,
right.
Kind of seems pretty good.
Yeah.
There are metrics on him, and I wish I put it in the notes. I'll try to remember to do that. I'll try to remember to bring up some of his metrics on the next show when we do the 4:00 games and the primetime stuff. I'll try to put that at the end and just note it. Maybe you guys remind me, please. It's good. It looks really good. Josh Downs is good. I don't care who's under center because of the way he plays. You don't need him to be 50 yards down the field to catch the ball.
Right.
So, yeah, if Downs plays, I don't care who the quarterback is. I will flex Josh Downs this week if I have to. If I have to.
If you have.
I'm not pounding the table for Josh Downs. There's some things about Josh Downs I think that we should talk about a little bit.
Well, and does he become he's not the Michael Pittman?
No.
So is Alec Pierce the Michael Pittman?
I mean, he would kind of have to be.
Yeah.
So
not that I don't love it anyway.
I don't like them playing the Titans this week regardless.
Yeah.
This is more like looking ahead a little bit. Richardson's back. Say he doesn't. Regardless if he plays or not this week. I'm looking past this game when I'm talking about Josh Downs.
Right.
Whether he's with Richardson or not.
Yeah.
If Taylor misses time, I would avoid Sermon in this particular matchup, right?
Yeah. The Titans are tough, dude.
They are. Though, volume.
Volume.
So if you're in a corner, at least Sermon, he is a starting running back, I guess, and gets volume. Titans defense is tough. And to be clear, don't go running to start Josh Downs this week. There's just some stuff going forward that I think might make you look at Josh Downs a little differently. Not you, Nick, but you, I hope, and whoever listens. Seems like Will Levis is good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Regardless, you're not starting Hopkins even against this soft matchup.
Yeah, I have in my notes Hopkins, Ridley, Burks. I want to say you can start one of them, but against the Colts.
Well, it's not Burks. Let's start there.
Yeah. I like it. It should be somebody because the Colts are a weak secondary, but
okay, if you have to flex one in a corner, Hopkins or Ridley.
Hopkins.
Yeah, I think Hopkins too.
I don't know.
But I would really rather avoid this. I want to avoid everything in this game if I can. Both sides of the ball. I don't want nothing to do with this game.
No.
Except the Tennessee running back room. I do love Pollard this week against the Colts.
Yep, I have Tony Pollard down, and I want to watch Spears.
Yeah. About Spears, I'm not quite comfortable flexing Tajay yet.
Not yet.
I was hoping by now I would be, but
right. But I do want to watch him closely on all of his touches. I want to see what those look like.
It's an enticing matchup, though. It's like if something could happen, this could be it. I'm just not willing to play that game.
Tony Pollard's their guy. They paid him a lot of money.
Yep.
They're definitely going Pollard.
Eating crow on that. Eventually, I'll have to look deeper into Pollard and get some ketchup and a dead crow and eat it on the podcast. So, yeah, but at the end of the day, there is probably worse options to put in your flex outside of Spears. So I don't mind it if I have to. So here's an idea. If you had to flex one or the other, would you flex Spears or Charbonnet?
Charbonnet. Even against a tough matchup.
I'll take Spears. Matchup based.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the Texans at the Patriots. Oh, good God. Houston is going to murder this Patriots team, even without Nico Collins, which that sucks.
Yeah, it does.
But here comes Drake May. I'm curious to watch him play.
I'm excited.
But fade all Patriots. And yes, I'm doing all I can to avoid Ramondre Stevenson against the Houston run defense. I hope you sold him by now.
Yeah. Demario Douglas. I like Demario Douglas.
Not me.
He's going to have to find somebody.
He is. But this is one of those, let me see it first. Now, when we talk next week, I might have changed my tune slightly a little bit.
Yeah.
Even on Stevenson. But we'll see. Over or under 23 fantasy points for CJ Stroud. 5 point per passing touchdown leagues.
Over.
Yeah. Give me the over.
As long as he avoids Gonzalez, we're looking at a big game.
Yeah. Gonzalez should. So, yeah, no Nico this week. Obvious bump for Diggs. How about Tank Dell with Diggs probably getting most of Gonzalez's attention, right?
Yeah.
Did Tank Dell have his first, hey, there he is?
Yeah, I think so. This would be the week.
This is another gut feeling with Wilson Lockett. I agree. I think this could be oh man, Tank Dell got 20 points, and maybe he's in the double digits, low teens the next few weeks, but when Nico comes back, it's going to get tough.
Yeah.
So, I'm flexing Tank all day.
Yep.
For sure. Assuming the Texans do what they should here and Mixon doesn't start. What I mean by that is get up early and often. There could be a lot of touches for running backs. If Mixon doesn't start and you had to flex either Akers or Ogunbowale, who are you choosing?
Akers.
I'll take Ogunbowale.
Mm-hmm. You could probably flex both of them.
Yeah,
this game is going to be.
Yeah,
I feel bad for Patriots.
I picked him up in a league and threw him on my bench. I'm tough at RB2. At RB2, things are not looking good. So I'm going to have to make a choice between Ogunbowale or Roshan Johnson.
Yikes.
Yeah, this will be a tough call.
Yeah.
I'm waiting till as deep as I can before I have to make that decision. I got a lot of thinking to do. But yeah, give me Ogunbowale, man.
Okay.
Let's move on to the Browns at the Eagles. Browns players, man. No. Seriously. Nope. I want nothing to do with it. I'm not doing it. I want nothing to do with these players until Jameis Winston is under center.
Yeah, I agree.
I have no interest whatsoever.
Watch what happens. Watson's going to look like Tom Brady this week.
Nah, I don't think so. I got all right, Amari Cooper. And even then, the interest is I don't know, man. I'm not talking about the Browns. I'm not. Well, that's it.
No, yeah.
I'm not wasting my time.
Okay.
I'm not going any further. No, what do you got, dude?
I don't know. I mean, they're just not going to bench Watson. They've already pretty much said Stefanski's getting. There's no way that's his choice.
No. The only thing, like I said before, you can hope for is Stefanski being you know what, this is ridiculous. I'm probably going to get fired tomorrow for this, but I'm starting
That's
Jameis.
fine. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Yep. The hell with this place. I don't blame him. Go somewhere where you're appreciated. Kevin Stefanski is
good coach.
Great coach.
Yep.
He's being wasted.
Yep.
And so is everything on that team. It's unbelievable to me. Good get right game for the Eagles. I don't know. AJ Brown returns. Devonta Smith returns. Everyone's fresh off a bye.
Still a great defense they're going against.
Is it? With Denzel Ward and Grant Delpit did not practice Wednesday.
That's fine. They're still really good. Myles Garrett. Owusu Koromoa.
Myles Garrett is questionable with an Achilles.
Okay. That changes things.
And Denzel and Grant Delpit, it's a concussion for Delpit. Probably will not see him. And Ward with a hamstring.
Ooh, lingering.
Yep. And then, like I said, Myles Garrett questionable with an Achilles. Listen, they're banged up. They're already allowing 141 rushing yards per game, and they're also 22nd against the wide receiver position. I don't know that they're as good as they have their moments because there's players there, but they're on the field constantly.
Yeah.
So really, it's as long as Philly's defense does their job and what they should against Deshaun Watson, that defense is going to be dog tired by third quarter.
We hope.
So it's hard to get much of a gauge. We haven't seen AJ, and we haven't seen, they were on bye, so we haven't seen Devonta in a little bit. And so they're both obvious starts. AJ Brown's a 1, Devonta Smith is a 2, maybe a flex depending on where you got him on. What about Barkley, though? Allowing 141 rushing yards per game. Saquon is a top what this week?
4?
Yeah, I'll give me top 5.
Top 5?
Yeah.
I think I'd put him at 4.
Man, you're kind of making me. Yeah, give me top 4. Give me top 4 this week for Saquon. I think this could be welcome back. Saquon's back.
Yeah.
I hate, as an Eagles fan, that we had a bye already, but they needed it.
They needed it bad.
Real bad.
Yep. Some things should have happened on that bye week, but that's fine.
Yeah, we won't get into that.
Yeah,
it's not an Eagles podcast.
Yep.
We can't do that. We can't be insufferable to people who listen to this. All right, man. That's it. That's the last game. Nick, do you have any final thoughts?
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think you were coming anyway, but we appreciate you just.
Yeah, I was
going
gonna be here just to hang out, but I don't know. I'm just got this Phillies game on. I'm just down right now.
I know.
It's whatever.
He's watching the Phillies game while he's doing this podcast, and he is very upset. What's the score?
4-1 Mets.
Oh, no. Well, that's that.
Yeah.
It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, it was cool. Whatever.
Sorry, buddy.
All right.
I am sorry. But no, seriously, thanks for filling in for Ty. Ty is getting ready to go on a big hunting trip and wanted to spend some time with the twin babies and the lady, and I said, do it, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
We got this thing. Mitchell, any final thoughts?
We're at the time of year where trades are very important. Send your trades in. At the grade your trade segment, let us know. Definitely important this time of year. Want to know our thoughts? We'll let you know our thoughts.
I strongly agree. All right, that's it for today's show. Again, as always, thank you all so much for tuning in and giving us your support. Remember, our PPR Superflex Dynasty rankings are now available in the description. Just click on the corresponding link. They're available as well on our Twitter. Also, as Mitchell stated, check the description for instructions on how to get your trades graded. Join us next time for our Week 6, 4 o'clock game slate, Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football preview. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe to our Spotify, Twitter, and YouTube. It's how we survive. Please tell your friends. See you next time, everybody.
See you.